Alright, Chase out here. Another movie out of the box. Oh, in the digital world. And it is 1922. A Stephen King adaptation of something that happens in 1922. That's all I know. Let me go watch 1922. Now let you know what I think of that year of 1922. Alright, I just got done watching 1922. What is it about? It's about a farmer with his wife and son in Nebraska. And the wife wants a divorce and wants to get rid of all of his 100 acres and sell all his 100 acres. But Thomas Jane is like, no, woman, you're not going to sell those acres, even though it's your acres. But you know what? I want the land, and we ain't moving to Omaha. We're staying with these 100 acres because that's all a man has. All a man has is that land and out, land in the house, land family, land in the house family. So I don't care if you want to be a dress shopper or make some dresses, but nope. You're not going to take my son away. I'm keeping your land as mine. You ain't selling this land. That's my best Nebraskan accent, even though I lived in Nebraska and no one really sounded like that. But anywho, that's what the story's about. And so what happens? Thomas Jane and the son kill the mother. Bam! Throw in her well. Pachow! And then puts a cow in the well and puts dirt in the well. And now he is haunted by what he did. And so is the son. And the son does his own story. And his dad is now haunted by both of them. What is good about the movie? The atmosphere is very cold in this movie, kind of like The Gray. When it's cold in the movie, you kind of feel cold with him and with the actual atmosphere. It's a great looking movie though, like good background drops of like cornfields and sunsets and good props in this movie. And I don't know a lot about the writing material of 1922. It's actually just a short story. I don't think it's a big book Stephen King wrote. I think it's more of a short story that's expanded on to what it could have been. Very good acting moments as well as visual effects of him being haunted. If you like rats, you're probably not going to like this movie. What's bad about the movie? I feel like some of the stuff, it's just, the movie's missing something, and it's hard to explain. For example, sometimes Thomas Jane is talking, you're just like, huh? What are you saying? I can't really hear when you talk about this. You're not taking my land. You're not taking my land. No. You're not taking my land on my son. That's all a man has is that land, this boy. You're like, who? What are you saying? And also, it's very dark of a movie. I try to watch this movie, like, with not windows open, but like shades, and you're like, what's happening to her? Oh, she's getting cut up. I can't really, ew, that's happening? Wait, then another scene you're like, I can't, it's dark. It's too dark. And I don't know if me being lazy should have closed the shutters, but it's a very dark movie and I feel like put some lighting so I know what's happening. And as I was like a Stephen King movie with his source material, this does seem like one of his weaker stories because like Mr. Mercedes, the outsider, which I'm reading, which is actually pretty good at it. He does have a theme of like child abuse and other stuff. So this is like a mild child abuse. There's nothing that much shock in this movie. It's very 1408, and 1408 to me is a vast superior movie. But overall, 1922 is missing something. It's just, I would not say it's not a complete movie, but it's just there to be there. And then we're in that Stephen King phase of we need to adapt everything he does and do something with it. By the way, I think this is the second Thomas Jane Stephen King with this and Dreamcatcher. But overall, 1922, good acting, good atmospheric vibe, good cinematography. The directing is good as well as the actual props of the movie where you actually feel cool. The bad, it just feels like it's empty. It's a hollow core movie because like too dark. The accent is kind of forced. I don't really like it. It's not really Nebraskan. It's supposed to be more Western, but it was just a hollow movie of consequences that just didn't feel right. I don't know if this would be R if it was in theaters. It was on that verge of like PG-13 R. Probably would have been R, a little bit more violence with the blood and guts. And you would expect it to be a little more violent with Stephen King of like just how he murders his wife and what happens to the other people and his hauntings. I expected more from the hauntings. And it was just very just there. It's a there movie that's hollow. That's what I could say. So 1922 will receive a 2.5 out of 5 blue Futons as it goes to 50%. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I said, sometimes it was too dark and I'm like, come on, I can't really see it. But I did like the atmospheric tone of the movie and the look of it. And it was fun in some scenes, but sometimes it did drag with the pace and everything else. But let's see what Rotten Tomatoes users and critics gave this movie. Okay, I'm kind of way off on this one. We have critics giving it an 86% and the audience at 57. Here's critic consensus. Thanks to director Zach Hilditch's patient storytelling and strong work from Lee Thomas Jane, 1922 ranks among the more satisfying Stephen King adaptations. I'm going to kind of disagree with that. Yes, Thomas Jane gave a good performance. It was a good performance, and it seemed like he got a lot more skinnier compared to the Punisher and everything else. But I didn't really like his accent. But his actual acting of like when the mice were coming and things were coming out the walls and everything, it was good. But to me, the movie just felt hollow and it was more of a shell. It was a shell of something, and when you like punch into it, you want some goodies to come out. And I didn't grab any goodies when punching through that shell, that barrier. Pya, pya. But anywho, do you agree with my 50%? The audience scored 57, or the critics 86%. I think that's a little too high for this movie, but that's just me. But please gotta get the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Blue Futon Utopia. You Blue Futonians, thank you for watching, and have a great day. And you wonder, people are like, oh my god, in today's world, it is so hard. And you look at this, and you're just like, oh god, I wonder how people survived in the early 1900s and 1800s, 1700s. Like, oh my god, how they survive. Like, whoo-wee! There must have been no people back then, because everyone here is all pussy whipped. Yeah.